like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
We consider ourselves lucky when we find money on the street. However, that's nothing close to what the people on this list went through. From crash landing on top of a car, surviving giant rocks, here we present you with 10 of the luckiest people who escaped death, and a camera was there to record every moment of it. Number 10. Quick heroin. When you pray for luck, do remember to ask for quick legs because you don't know when you'll need them. Take a look at this footage recorded by the dash cam of a car somewhere in Vietnam. You'll be overly surprised that someone made it out of that kind of accident unhurt. A truck with no sign of blowout suddenly went off the road, claiming the damage of more than 3 cars. At first, you may not notice the woman with the baby standing right next to the white car, but when she comes out running heroically from the scene, you'd marvel with her luck. Not only did she survive the bloody happenstance, but she also escaped a violent blow, the one from the displaced car spiraling destructively behind. She ran quite swiftly from a massive hit that could have made her crippled for the rest of her life. Whew, that was one hell of a run. Give a closer look. Do you feel the upshot on one of the cars? If she got hit at such a magnitude, the woman and the kid would have been dead in no time. She was indeed a very lucky heroine. Number 9. Car surfing. Dashcams are very popular among Russians who use them to combat corrupt law enforcement officials and capture evidence of accidents like this one. These dashcams also capture completely absurd and unreal moments like these. A Russian dashcam caught a motorcyclist running into the back of a moving car, and what happened after that was a complete miracle or an unbelievable stunt. The nearly incredible video was posted to YouTube and was shot near the city of Koroliva. In it, a sedan pulls into the passing lane just as a motorcycle approaches it and at much higher speed does the same. The bike hits square into the rear of the car and flips forward in unison with its rider, who lands on 2 feet and sits on the vehicle as it slows down, and can be seen getting off safely when it comes to a stop at the end of the clip. If it's fake, it's a good one, but Spider-Man has some competition if it's real. Number 8. Almost whale food. Never approach a wild animal while it's feeding, especially a large animal like whales. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a situation like these 2 divers who were almost swallowed by whales. The whales were feeding by using a process called bubble net feeding, in which the whales swim in circles, releasing bubbles beneath a school of prey until the prey is corralled into a tight bait ball. The whales then swim up towards the surface with mouths wide open and consumed thousands of fish in one gulp. If the 2 divers had been a few feet closer, the whales' mouths might have consumed more than just 1,000 fish. Number 7. Roadside shutter. There's no such thing as over-conscientiousness. You can never be too careful while walking beside the road. We are sure that would be the advice of this 20-year-old man to all youths after he fortunately walked out of this near-death experience alive. Zach McCabe, the man in the video, was on his way to the gym when he almost got crushed by a car. Luckily for him, he was not on the Grim Reaper's list. Otherwise, that'd have been the last thing he'd ever lived to do. For the video, he looked kind of carried away, oblivious to the fact that 3 automobiles had just collided right in front of him. That was before one came spinning in his direction. The car ran him over to the glass wall of a nearby pizza store, but he was so miraculously saved that even the metallic structure behind the car missed him completely. It's no joke being flung into a window by a speeding car, and you come out unscathed. Not when the lightest vehicle in the world weighs over 2,800 pounds. It's like being crushed by the most massive rhino in the world. He was extremely lucky to get out of it with nothing more than back pain and the biggest fright of his life. Number 6. Mauled by a little baby. The Daily Telegraph reported Charles Starner Smith was sent to an assignment to a wildlife park one day. He probably figured he'd interview a few trainers, take some snapshots of the animals, and call it a day. He probably never expected he would end up in a lion cage. The reporter was allowed into the cage of 1-year-old lion Mepinpan, whose name means little baby, and was subsequently mauled by the animal while its trainer tried to calm it down. Luckily for him, the little baby looks like it was just roughhousing and not seriously going for an all-out attack. It's time to stop annoying these beautiful creatures. Number 5. The nearly headless pilot. Racing has always been a dangerous sport. From horse to car racing, things might go wrong within a split second. Even with that, many adrenaline junkies won't stop clamoring for it. This video shows a pilot and his friends who got themselves into an aircraft racing competition one fateful Sunday. Everything was going fine, and they were about to begin when he figured he had an engine problem. You can see as he signaled for help, but it seemed that the flagman couldn't get a hold of his complaint. Just when he was about to stand up for recognition, another plane came within a loud dash, only a few inches away from his head. You can feel the almost crimson impact of the crash even from the clip as his plane made a clockwise turn. Had he been an inch or two higher, that would be the end of the story for him, with his skull rolling to the ground. Though he was scared to death, he was just seconds away from becoming a nearly headless Nick. Number 4. Boy and the Breaching Whale. Whales are incredible creatures who breach out of the ocean and make everything else look dull except for themselves. People solely boat into the ocean to watch whales jump out of the ocean. Some people are lucky enough to get a close shot of these amazing animals like the people on this boat. The whale showered them with water as well, but they are not whom I'm talking about. They are lucky, but this entry is about the luckiest of them all. I'm talking about this boy who shared an unbelievable moment with a whale. The boy went out boating with his father and asked him to take his photo, but the father was shooting a video of him, and this is when the magic happened, and the boy shared a once-in-a-million moment with the whale. The boy was smiling brilliantly, but a blue whale jumped out of the water and made history because this is the one and only video of a boy with a breaching whale behind him. Number 3. Giant boulder. If you've learned anything from Indiana Jones movies, it's probably that large boulders can appear out of nowhere. This dashcam footage shows a powerful storm with rain falling all around. Suddenly, mud and dirt suddenly start bouncing off the cliff face to the right. It engulfs the car ahead and slides to one side of the road, which, while it may seem frightening, actually proved to be the saving grace for the passenger inside. The air fills with dust, so it's impossible to see what happened next, but as it starts to clear, a giant boulder can be seen coming to rest in the middle of the road. If the car had still been where it was, it would have certainly been crushed by the weight, but luckily it was swept to the side. Number 2. It's hard being a photographer. Amateur photographer Meki Jadi was on vacation in the Caribbean island of St. Bethany when he decided to head to a plane spotting area famous for its nerve-wracking low. He saw a small aircraft approaching for a landing, but he decided to take a few photos. What he didn't realize was that the plane was flying low. Too low. So low, in fact, that the landing gears almost grazed the photographer's head. But like any professional photographer who just had a brush with death would do, he stood up straight when the plane flew by and took more photos. The whole thing was documented by another man who was testing his 360-degree camera and captured every hair-raising moment. Number 1. Rushing rock. How about when you're taking all of the safety precautions but still not safe enough from the impending danger? And aren't you going to feel lucky when you encompass a mad dash situation but come out with no harm? This video reminds us of an action movie. It's exciting to see some real-life action, especially when there is a building getting destroyed in a similar situation. People are gathered to witness a controlled explosion to apparently destroy a building from a safe distance. They should be out of danger, but suddenly a big rock came flying out of nowhere. A rock coming at that pace would have done a lot of damage, though fortunately it missed everyone standing. It was a controlled explosion in which a rock got out of control and clearly out of range. Have you ever been this lucky that you ended up cheating death? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.